The Nama Mantra Japa is very much emphasized by the Bhakti scriptures. Now let us go back to the Ishta Devata concept. In our Hinduism we have a good number of gods and goddesses. Does it mean that we believe in a multiplicity of gods and goddesses? No. Ekam sat vipraha bahudha vadanti. That is what the Rig Veda declares. So these various gods and goddesses are different aspects of one and the same Supreme Lord Brahman. Once there was a village fair, hot as we call, and a number of village women were going back home. A Christian missionary had gone there, and as usual he was preaching about the greatness of his religion and abusing Hinduism. You believe in so many gods and goddesses, we have got only one God, and so on. So while coming back, one of the women was telling others, you see, in their religion there is only one God, and we have got so many gods and goddesses, whom to pray, whom not to pray, we are highly confused. Then another very intelligent lady said, no, we have got a tremendous advantage. They have got one God, they pray to that one God, if it fails, permanently gone. But you pray to Ganapati, if it doesn't work, Devi is there, Rama is there, Krishna is there, so many gods are there. We can even create more gods. But if we understand the philosophy behind it, there will be no cause for any confusion. I don't know here, but in South India, during Makar Sankranti, we distribute sugar dolls. So the sugar dolls are of different shapes, colors and so on. Children may fight, no, I want a peacock, I want a mango, I want a ratha. But elders don't, because all the sugar dolls are sweet. They are sugar. So we can reach Parabrahman experience by following the upasana of any one of these gods and goddesses. As long as I am sitting in this hall, I can look at the sky only through the window in my room. The window may be small, but the sky is infinite. And you look at the window, through that window, I look at the sky through this window. One window may be round, another window may be square, and so on. So these Upasya Devatas, they are like windows to the infinity. Now, as far as Diksha is concerned, Upasana is concerned, our scriptures are very particular that we have to choose a particular Rupa with a Nama, a particular form, and the name mantra associated with that form has to be received from a qualified Guru. So that is very, very necessary. Guru, through the Guru initiation or Diksha, and then accepting one Guru, one Ishta Devata, one mantra, one mode of sadhana throughout until we actually get realization, the sadhana has to proceed. It's very interesting. I still remember one day Revered Yatish was talking to one of the devotees. He wanted to take Diksha from him. I was also sitting a little away from there. Before giving initiation, Maharaj used to interview these devotees. So he asked him, which is your Ishta Devata? Which aspect of God appeals to you more? Then that gentleman frankly told, oh well, Swamiji, all gods and goddesses appear to be the same to me. Then Yatish Swamiji suggested one method. You do one thing. You quietly sit in meditation and you know the various gods and goddesses of the Hindu pantheon. One by one you think, Ganapati, please come, 1 minute, go. Mother, Divine Mother will come, you come. So like that you give a chance to all these deities. Now what will happen is, a particular deity will repeatedly come back into your mind, into your psychic personality. So if that happens, that is your Ishta Devata. Suppose it doesn't happen, the devotee asked. Then he said, leave it to the Guru. The Guru can find it out through meditation and give you the Ishta Devata and the mantra. So it is very necessary to go to your Guru and take mantra diksha from him. As far as the qualifications of the Guru and disciple are concerned, we have plenty of quotations from the scriptures. Mundaka Upanishad says he must be a Shastravit and Brahmavit. He must know the essence of the Shastras. He must have had Brahman experience. Suppose the Guru has had God realization, Brahman experience, and also is an expert in the Shastric lore or knowledge, then as we say in Sanskrit, Hemnaha Parimalaha Iva, gold getting perfume. That's all right. But it is very difficult to find such people who have got both God realization and Shastra Panditya. Once I asked Revered Tyagishanji Maharaj, who was a great scholar, about this question, how to find out such a Guru. He said, you need not worry about that. Suppose there is a student who is in the 10th standard, SSLC as we used to call, SSC or SSLC. There is another boy probably studying in the 4th standard. So the SSLC student can easily teach the 4th standard student because that much of knowledge he has got. So similarly, those who have progressed very far in spiritual life, they can definitely help those who are at lower stages. They can be safely adopted as gurus for guidance. Then coming to the Nama mantra and japa and so on, which are connected with the actual process of meditation. Every deity has a mantra. It has its name. Along with the name, a bijakshara is also added. This is the tantric tradition, not in the Vedic tradition. Tantras are full of such bijaksharas. There are also dictionaries of these bijaksharas, mantra mahodadhi and so on. What is the significance of the bijakshara and what is the normal shape of a mantra? Now let us take the mantra of Lord Shiva, Om Namah Shivaya. All of us are familiar with that. So there is Omkara first, then Shiva's name in the Chaturthi Vibhakti dative case, then Namaha. Sometimes instead of Namaha, Swaha and Swadha are also used. It depends upon the particular mantra. In addition to that, in the tantric tradition, a bijakshara like Hrim, Krim, Klim and all those things are added. Every day we are praying in the prayer hall, Om Hrim Ritam. Hrim is the bijakshara for the Devi. So, each mantra of a deity has got not only Omkara and Namaskara, it also has a bijakshara. And that bijakshara is something special associated only with that particular deity. So what is the significance of the bijakshara? The bijakshara has tremendous inherent power to reveal the form and the power of the deity. Suppose you take a mango seed and put it in the ground, it will grow into a mango tree. So that seed has got the entire tree potentially condensed in it. Similarly, the bijakshara of a particular deity has got the power of the entire deity condensed in it. So by gradually repeating that bijakshara, the whole mantra with the bijakshara, it gets expounded in course of time. I can make it clear through one example. Suppose I have received a mantra of Lord Shiva with a bijakshara. Generally the bijaksharas are the first letter of the deity with anuswara. Durga, Dum it becomes. Ganesha, Gam, like that. There are other bijas also. Suppose I want to meditate upon Lord Shiva. I have taken the mantra from my Guru. So in the beginning, I must have something to fall back upon. So I find a Shivakashi calendar with a beautiful picture of Lord Shiva, some artist's impression. It appeals to me very much. I keep it in my room and try to meditate upon that Shiva in my heart. But at the same time, I am repeating the mantra given to me by the Guru, which contains the Bijakshara. Now, according to the Shastras, the Bijakshara contains the form and the power within itself. Are they identical? Are they different? We do not know. But I have faith in my Guru, in my mantra. To start with, I have this this Shiva of the calendar. I go on repeating it. But gradually, in course of time, when the spiritual evolution takes place, the vision I have in my heart may be different from the Shiva that is in the calendar. Because the vision that is produced in the heart is produced by the power of the Bijakshara. If the person who has written the drawing, painting, has realized the form through his meditation, then that is different. In fact, some of the great sages have given the dhyana shlokas for the deities. They have given beautiful description of the deities through dhyana shloka. And depending upon that, we try to imagine. And these rishis who have given dhyana shloka, they have given it out of their realization. So, in the hridaya akasha, after all, the nature of akasha is shabda. It is susceptible to vibration. So when we repeat the mantra, a vibration is set up in the hridaya akasha or dahara akasha as it is called, and that vibration ultimately results in the manifestation of the form of the deity. So as I told you, the manifestation of the form depends entirely upon the Bijakshara associated with that. Then there are many types of Diksha. The Diksha that we normally take is called Shrotra Diksha. The Guru utters the mantra, we hear and then we adopt it. There are also other types of Diksha, we need not worry about those details. Then, coming to other aids to sadhana. The main sadhana is, of course, japa and meditation, and that japa is very, very important. In fact, Holy Mother used to say, even if there is no concentration, even if you are not able to imagine the deity in your heart, don't bother about it. You repeat the mantra itself will bring back the deity's form. Sri Ramakrishna used to give an example. Boys are flying the kites. A kite is flying probably 500 feet above the ground. Let it fly there, doesn't matter. As long as the boy has got the thread in his hand, he can pull it into himself whenever he wants. So the thread is Nama and the kite is God. So you can pull the Lord towards yourself by repeating the name. The name is so powerful. If it is chanted seriously and sincerely, it will definitely act. There is one incident which I have heard happened in Tamil Nadu about 150 years ago. In one Brahmin family, the daughter-in-law of the house, the robbers came and attacked the house, and along with the wealth, they had also taken away the daughter-in-law, abducted her. With great difficulty, that lady managed to come back after about a month. So she was standing in front of the house, and she did not know whether she could enter. Then suddenly, her husband noticed her and told her, you do one thing. You repeat Ram Nam 3 times. Immediately you are purified, I will take you back. His father, who was inside, shouted at him, what? You want her to repeat Ram Nam 3 times? That means you have no faith in Ram Nam? let her repeat only once. It's a very touching story, but actually happened, it seems. So that is the power of name. Sri Ramakrishna also says, Nama and Nami are identical. Nam o Nami ek. Then what about the people who are busy in the world? How can they practice sadhana? Loke api bhagavad guna shravana kirtanat. Even when you are engaged in the activities of day-to-day life, by listening to the names and the glories of the Lord, you can raise the mind up. Here Sri Ramakrishna gives two examples. Now there is a lady pounding paddy, a carpenter's wife. She is pounding paddy. Her mind is practically on the pestle. At the same time, she is suckling the baby. She is also arguing with the people. 2-3 things she are doing simultaneously, but most of the mind is kept there. So similarly, it is possible for household devotees to keep a part of the mind on God and another part on the world. Brahmanji gives one example in his eternal companion. Small boys, they go to a pillar, holding the pillar, they go round at great speed. As long as they are holding to the pillar, they are safe. If they leave the hand, they fall down and get injured. So let God be the pillar of your life. Hold on to God with one hand, and with the other hand, you attend to the duties of the world. Sri Ramakrishna also says, now and then for household devotees, it is good to go into solitude away from the family for 1 or 2 or 3 days per month. And then he also says to shed tears in the name of God. So that will wash off all the impurities of the mind. And another factor of sadhana which helps us is satsanga. Santaha sangasya bheshajam. Bhagavatam says, the company of the holy people is like a medicine which will destroy all our attachment to the things of the world. Sadhunam darshanam punyam tirtha bhutahi sadhavaha kalena phalate tirtham sadhyaha sadhu samagamaha. Well, there is tirtha yatra. You go on a pilgrimage. Go on a pilgrimage and come back. It will definitely purify you, but it takes a long time. On the other hand, if you go to a sadhu, a holy man, and have darshan, touch his feet and take his blessings, you are purified immediately. In fact, the power that they emit is so great that the effect can be felt immediately. One of our very senior swamis, he is still alive, 91 or 92. Before joining the Ramakrishna order, he went to Ramana Maharshi in Tiruvannamalai. Ramana Maharshi was still alive. And Ramana Maharshi was just reclining on his bed. And there were about 10 or 15 people sitting in that room. So this Swamiji also, at that time he was outside. He sat in a corner and then started meditating. He had 7 questions in his mind, doubts, which were disturbing his mind, because of which he was not able to take a decision to join the Ramakrishna order. As he went on meditating, one by one the question came up and the result or the answer also. So after half an hour, all the 7 problems were solved without anybody's interference or intervention. When he opened his eyes, Ramana Maharshi was looking at him and smiling. So that shows the power of satsanga. Such a wonderful power was there, and as a result of that, this happened. That is why satsanga is very often recommended. Then of course we have bhajans and sankirtans and puja and mauna. Observing mauna is also very helpful. Shankara says, mananat munihi, muner bhavaha maunam, man chintayam. Man means to think deeply. So one who is doing manana, constantly and continuously thinking of the Lord, he is called as a Muni. And the Muni's real bhava, state of mind, is mauna. So mauna does not mean simply keeping the mouth shut. Mauna means keeping the mind concentrated upon God to such an extent that you have no inclination even to speak. That is the real mauna. But the mauna in the ordinary sense can help lead your mind to that. You first close your mouth, then that much of energy is saved, and that energy increases in the mind. You direct it towards the Lord, and automatically you raise yourself. Similarly, singing the names and glories of Lord, bhajans. So when you are sitting in your house and want to meditate, you may not be able to do it very well. But when you come to the temple, when 100 people are sitting there in meditation with great feeling and joy and faith, and they're all singing the names and glories of the Lord, automatically the mind is elevated. So, as Swamiji says, when 10 people are sitting in one place, if 9 people are good and 1 person is a bad person, the minds of the 9 people will act on the 10th person, and at least for the time being he will be a good person. So the principle of resonance in physics will act in the field of psychology also. Then ritualistic puja, that also helps. In fact, I would rather advise that all the household disciples learn how to do puja. The simplest of the pujas is Panchopachara puja. Gandha, Pushpa, Dhupa, Deepa, Naivedya. It takes hardly 10-15 minutes. And if you know the meaning of the mantras and put your mind into that, it is as good as meditation. Then coming to the last part of it, the characteristics of a Siddha. Sthita Prajna Lakshana is the last part of the second chapter in the Gita. There, in the introduction, Bhagavan Shankara says, why has the Lord taken so much trouble to give a detailed description of the characteristics of a perfect man? Because these characteristics which are natural to him, they can be adopted as modes of sadhana by sadhakas. As I explained to you yesterday, the Atmajnani doesn't see a second person outside himself. Dvitiyadvai bhayam bhavati, Brihadaranyaka says. There is no second person for him. He sees himself, the same God in himself, in others. So there is no question of getting angry with him, with anybody, or hating anybody. So that is natural to the Brahmajnani. But what we have to do is adopt it as a mode of sadhana. Yes, I don't like somebody, I dislike person, I hate some other person. But I tell myself, no, it's not good. The ultimate analysis, according to the Shastras and the saints, the same God who is here is there in others also. It's a mistake for me to think like that. So, advise your mind, try to change the attitude as far as possible to overcome this. It is difficult but not impossible. Gradually over the years it can be done. Suppose you have taken Mantra Diksha 10 or 15 years ago. Today you can sit and think, 10 or 15 years ago what was the state of my mind? Such and such weaknesses were there in the mind. Today I find I have improved. Such and such weaknesses have disappeared. Such and such weaknesses have become much less. So to that extent I have improved. That gives us confidence. So, Sthita Prajna Lakshana, the characteristics of a saint or a perfect man, can be adopted as modes of sadhana, and they will definitely help us. These people who have realized God, they continue to keep the body for the sake of others. There are two views here. A realized man may continue to live because of the prarabdha karma. Buddha got illumination at the age of 45, gave up the body at the age of 80. He lived as a Jivan Mukta. That is one view. The other view is Sri Ramakrishna says, a saint goes into Nirvikalpa Samadhi, stays in that condition for 21 days, then gives up the body. Because he has realized the truth, he has nothing else to do now, nothing more to do. voluntarily and willingly he gives up the body. But a few people out of these will retain a little of their egoism, ignorance, and come back. And he illustrates this with the help of a story. Four friends were going for a walk, and they found that there is a high wall by the side of the road, and from inside the wall a nice music was being heard. So one of them said, "All right, let me go and see what is inside." He climbed the wall. He was very much impressed. "Ha!" he declared, and then just jumped and did not come back. Second person also did the same thing. Third also did the same thing. The fourth one controlled himself. "It's a pleasure garden, wonderful. But why should I only enjoy it? There are people in my house, there are people in my village. They do not know anything about this. Let me go and tell them." So he comes back. So these are the Jivan Mukta Purushas who retain their body for the good of the world. Because they are there, we are able to know that these spiritual practices are real, are very effective. So you see, as far as the philosophy of sadhana is concerned, you get plenty of material in Sri Ramakrishna's life and teachings. Apart from the scriptures, Sri Ramakrishna has made them very easy to follow in our life. The only thing that we have to do is, first of all, acquire a good intellectual knowledge. Secondly, have conviction about them. Thirdly, try to practice them as much as we can. Gandhiji says in one place, there is a flight of stairs, 100 steps are there. But it is so dark, with great difficulty I am able to see only one step. All right, let me put my foot and rise. Then I can see the second step. After I go for 10 steps, I may be able to see 2 or 3 steps at a time. Then after 50 steps, maybe 10 steps I may be able to see. So as we go on improving in spiritual life, rising higher and higher, the mind, purified mind, the Lord who is our Antaryamin, He Himself will show us the way. Let us all hope and pray that our divine trio and our own Guru Parampara will help us to touch the feet of God before the body falls. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu.